or the quality of persons. I know so many persons here because I haven't contested election. I see so many regular faces. I see men with fidelity to their principles. People who are committed. I see men with vision. I see men with passion. I see men who are dedicated. I see men who believe that management is getting things done through people to achieve results. That is the simple definition of management. And that once you are able to bring up men and women with vision, with purpose, with patriotism, and above all, the fear of God, they will work for the people. So the prayers will be that may God grant our heart desires for the betterment of this country. And the people said, Amen.
I also want to acknowledge the various leaders here. I see lawyers here, I see doctors, I see farmers, I see student union leaders, traditional chiefs, leaders from our state are gathered here this afternoon. And this gathering is not an APC gathering. There are many people here who are not in APC. In fact, there are people here who belong to other political parties. There are some people here who belong to the PDP. But for the purpose of being able to make an informed choice, we have chosen to honor this invitation because they are also leaders in their own rights of various groups. There are leaders here from Labour Party who have also chosen in the spirit of dialogue to come and listen to us. So please let us respect the bipartisan nature of this gathering and not just see it as an APC affair. Having said that, let me say that we are grateful that you are here. And one of the reasons why we invited you is to give you an opportunity to interface with our presidential candidate. He came before, but he came to meet more or less party men and women. We had a very successful rally. But that rally that we did that is supposed to take place in Osunbor was dominated mainly by APC scholars from the 18 local governments of Edo State. Many leaders of our state were not at that rally. And some of us felt that if we must get the vote that we want to get in Edo State, it will be important for us to put pressure that it must come back. For many states, all that he's doing is going there for just one rally. But I want to say that he has shown love for us by consenting to this second visit, even though he has a very tight schedule. So we invited him basically to dialogue with you. They say, seeing is believing. All kinds of stories have been carried by the principal, by those who are intimidated by his track record. But this election must not be won on the basis of unsubstantiated lies, rumors, and stories. It is time we elect a leader who is prepared for leadership. A leader who has a track record. A leader that we can trust. And I want to say with all respect to all those here, many of us have had the opportunity to interact closely with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we believe that as president, his tenure will be remarkable in the history of Nigeria. Those who are against him, they do not deny his track record. I've heard many of them say, if he was younger, if he was well, he would have supported him. Anybody who wants to look at the evidence of what Tinubu has done only has to look at Lagos. Whether we want to accept it or not, Lagos is working. The only state in this country that is viable, the only state that can survive without waiting for Abuja to give them allocation is Lagos State. And those states of today cannot survive without allocation. Delta State cannot survive without allocation. River State cannot survive without allocation. Anambra State cannot survive without allocation. Adamawa cannot survive without allocation. But I'm sure you know that today, based on the foundation that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu laid, Lagos State can survive without allocation. A man who, when he came as governor, the entirely generated revenue of that state was 600 million monthly. Under his leadership and guidance, today, Lagos State generates 56 billion monthly. That is a record. And that is the kind of person we want as president of Nigeria. Those who say, oh, you wish he was younger, you wish he was well, it's mainly because of people like you that will say, he should come here. When he came to Osunbor, there are people who were saying, but we heard this man is not well. Look at how large it is. Look at the podium as high as it is. The man climbed. Look at the man carrying the microphone. The microphone did not fall. They saw firsthand that all those stories about ill health were all fabrication. We must not allow ourselves to vote against somebody simply because people consider the telling lies against us. I am an example. When I was running for governorship, there was nothing they didn't say. But today, instead of people who voted against me, they will see me as, pastor, we made a mistake. You might not understand belief here, but what the name about Agba? And listen, for somebody like me, apart from the many things I know about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even the way he came out to support me in that election is something I cannot forget. Many people said, oh, why did you do a video? I think we did a video. To say, oh, what for consequence? But today we know the consequence of that video. And Tinubu did a video and said, how can you vote for somebody who has no respect for the rule of law? Somebody that will refuse to swear in 14 members of assembly who were duly elected. How can we in a democracy vote for such a person? Did he not say so? They were not saying, don't vote for this man because he's not in my party. He said, I can see undemocratic tendencies in this man. If what he's doing now, you encourage him, when he gets into office, he will destroy your property. He will take your land. He will deal with you. Has it not happened? There are many of us here. I said that this is not an everything gathering. There are people here who are in the labor government or call them obedient. And we took the pains to convince them to come. And what we told them was very simple. We have nothing at all against the Taobi. If you are talking about principle of fairness, it's eminently qualified. But the truth is, life is about time and season. Life is about time and season. Whether you like it or not, there are many places where Peter Obi is a stranger in this country. There are many places. Please listen, I am not insulting him at all. But the reality is that on election day, you will find there are very many places where he does not exist. We believe by the grace of God that Tinubu will win, and that those states will be counted as the states that may be possible. If you vote for APC and Tinubu wins, you are making us politically relevant to be able to demand for Edo State. If we don't win here, yes, we will be at the federal, but we will be politically relevant. It's in the interest of our people, in the interest of our states, that despite the political party that we belong to, let us vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu for president. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocols in order to be able to go straight to the points that I have to make. I welcome you, all of you, to this town hall meeting. As you know, the purpose is to provide an opportunity for you to dialogue with our presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his running mate, Senator Kashim Shettima. Incidentally, both of them were former senators, former governors, and past senators. So you see they have a lot in common. And both of them did very well during their time as governors and as senators. Let me also join the last speaker to recognize the fact that a lot of you who have been here since between 12 noon are here because you are committed, you are interested in participating in this dialogue. I know that amongst you are those who are already convinced about the need to elect our presidential candidate as the next president of Nigeria. So those who are already converted don't need much sermon to be preached to them. But I also recognize that there may be some who are undecided, what they call the undecided, uncommitted. There may be those who have made up their mind not to support our presidential candidate. I will invite you just to listen to give you reasons why you have to support our presidential candidate and contribute in all ways possible to ensure his election on the 25th of February. The first major point is that the Nigeria now recognizes the principle of rotation again as a short while ago. And along that principle, all the governors of the South, all Southern governors met and decided that come 2023, power should rotate from the north to the south. Because in 2015, there was a national consensus that power should rotate to the north, and after 8 years, it should rotate to the south. All the northern APC governors also supported rotation from after Buhari's 8 years to the south in order that we produce a southern president. Because after the 8 years of the southern president, it will again rotate to the north. Once we have this understanding, it will go a long way in fostering national unity in Nigeria. Because what we need first and foremost in Nigeria is peace and unity. Let us be our brother's keeper. And the leadership of APC and all the governors of APC and many of the governors, except perhaps 8 governors in the country, support the principle of rotation to the south from 2023 for the next 8 years, after which it will rotate to the north. If you make the mistake of taking power in the north now, then you will not hold the northern governors to blame if after the 8 years they now say it should now rotate to the north. Do you think the danger there? There is going to be a danger, serious danger there, which will pose a threat to national unity. The other point that I need to make is that I hear people say they are angry. They are going to vote out of anger. Or they are angry, they don't like this person, they don't like this person. They don't like our presidential candidate, or they don't like our vice presidential candidate in running with, because they either hate them, they dislike them, or that they are angry. My message, which I will urge you to take to those people, that the election of a president for Nigeria is not one to be decided in a fit of anger. Because nothing good comes out of anger. If you go to the prisons, you will find a lot of people who are there who say, oh, I wish I didn't act out of anger. They acted out of anger, and that is why they are in trouble. Please, my dear people of Edo State, if you see anybody who says he will vote out of anger, tell him to calm down. We have to be calm, we have to decide, we have to calculate in a sober manner, calm manner, who will best give us good leadership in our country, Nigeria. Again, many people say the problem of Nigeria is bad leadership. We don't have good leadership. But it requires your own contribution to ensure that we put in place, we elect a president who will provide good and able leadership for our country, Nigeria. For me, these are the principles, these are the factors that have influenced my decision to support Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the next president of Nigeria. What Africa needs are not strong men, but strong institutions. Our presidential candidate, when he was governor of Lagos State, established good institutions, which many states of the Federation are copying today. The institution of the last man, the lawman, which carries waste, because Lagos used to be very dirty, but Lagos is no longer the dirty capital that we used to know before. It was institutional change that led to that. There were ghost workers in Lagos State government. Even today, in many states, they still have the problem of ghost workers. Tinubu, one of the first things he did was to introduce a system which removed ghost workers from Lagos State government. The other is the rule of law, the justice sector. For those who know about alternative dispute resolution, settlement of disputes, he introduced it in the Lagos State government. And many states, including the federal government, are imitating what Tinubu did in Lagos. This is just in the area of governance. Some of the candidates are saying they will provide jobs. employment opportunity for the youth. But amongst the presidential candidates, no one of them has provided opportunity for the youth like Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he was governor.
As it is, this is a town hall meeting. It affords us the opportunity of laying bare before you all that we think you will need in coming away with a decision of who to vote for. In my humble opinion, in deciding who to vote for in this round of election, this is a very simple one. Simple in the sense that all the dramatic personnel are all politically exposed persons in the political space of Nigeria. But that I mean, all of them have held one office or the other in different capacities. Consequently, in coming away with a decision, all we just need to do is to look at their track record, their service record in their tour of duty. Three of them, all of them, four of them are serving executive capacities. Three of them as governors, and one of them as vice president of the federation. For me, I might be bad, but a mere cursory examination of the track record of all of them, I'm of the humble opinion, the Jagaban one of the universe is head and shoulders above every one of them. I meant to say this because when you look at his time when he was governor in Lagos, Asiwaju developed a template of development for Lagos, which successive governors have adopted up to today. Asiwaju it is that started the transformation of Lagos. Lagos today is a go-to state because Asiwaju there when others were afraid. In infrastructural development, Asiwaju has done for Lagos what no other person has done for their state. Asiwaju, when he was governor, did what Osunbor did here in Edo. Osunbor conquered the Mami waters of teachers' house. And Asiwaju conquered the ocean in Lagos. Today, people are building residential premises in reclaimed land in Lagos because Asiwaju there. Today, Lagos is the fifth largest economy in Africa. Lagos state, mind you, but today is the fifth largest economy in Africa because of the economic initiative of the man Tinubu. Even when Obasa, his brother, seized the IGR of Lagos, Tinubu was able to run Lagos and govern Lagos effectively without borrowing a penny from any bank. Lagos men are growth economically because of this man's initiative, and today Lagos is still Lagos because his succession plan, this is important, nobody has talked about this. Tinubu's succession plan is such that he has succeeded in picking square peg in square hole to continue with the development initiative. That is how Lagos is still going today, and although we fail because we didn't pick the right person. Let us also talk about human capacity development. I don't think there's any leader today in the political space of Nigeria that has developed human beings like Tinubu has done. Tinubu has a knack for reaching out and finding brilliant young men and women and method their best. If we want to list their names today, I'm sure we'll be getting tomorrow. But I'm sure you know most of the eggheads that have been promoted to the federal level were all products of Asiwaju. And this cabinet that governed with Lagos were without prejudice to tribal and religious sentiments. Tinubu made Lagos a mini Nigeria. You go to Lagos, his cabinet, you will find Edo people, Igbo people, Hausa people, and of course Yoruba people. What am I trying to say? Tinubu is a detribalized Nigerian. Tinubu is a pan-Nigerian leader that believes in the cause of Nigeria. Tinubu has made a lot of sacrifices, even at the risk of his personal life. He has fought doggedly for democracy to thrive in Nigeria. He was one of those, and seated is also one of our own, Reverend Bada, who went into exile when they fought the Napoleon Abacha in order for democracy to be enthroned in Nigeria. He has worked for Nigeria. He has served us. Let us give him the opportunity to govern us. Because we know if we give him the opportunity, he will do for Nigeria that which he has done for Lagos. I'm not ashamed to admit that when we were in office, we had cause to go severally to understand what they were doing. And each time we went there, we brought something back home that benefited our people. This is a that we do the greatest good to the greatest numbers of persons within the shortest possible time.
We have 3 or 4 gentlemen running for the race. If you are running for a race you have not labored for, you are running in vain. Back in exile, this gentleman, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was the rock of Nadeko in exile. Day and night, winter and summer, he was out there propagating democracy. The Obasanjo who has spoken loud for Obi may not have been alive today, but for what he did in exile. I mean, all of us carrying placards. Obasanjo must not be killed in prison. Obasanjo must not die in prison. We went to Downing Street. We went to various countries asking them to put pressure on the country. And a man who you cannot trust his words is not a man you should even listen to. The other issue I want to say, there was a man from Edo State. He was the leader of all of us in exile. When we returned from exile, nobody knew he existed.
It was this same Tinubu who took charge. I'm a witness. All the workers of in Benin City, we are being paid by Lagos State government. Not many people knew that. Tinubu is a tribalized person. That was why you found an Igbo man in his cabinet, somebody from Osun in his cabinet, somebody from Odubu in his cabinet. He is a very intelligent man. We need to go to Asiwaju. A Muslim can sleep peacefully in bed with a Christian, can bring peace to the nation.
Let me stand on the already established protocol and thank you all for your patience, for your resilience, for coming here to listen to our one and only Jagaban, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I do not want to repeat all that have been said, but I need to give all of us in Edo State one assurance. And I can almost bet with any amount of money that over 90% of all of us here are not happy with the governance in Edo State. The surest route to having a government in Edo State that recognizes your rights, that respects you as a citizen of the state, that pays attention to what is good for the state, is to have Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president. He said it when he came before the primaries, and he assured us that Edo State will be on the national trajectory to growth by the time he becomes the president. And I can assure you that that promise, you can take it to the bank. Today, we all live in fear in Edo State simply because we have elected the wrong person. And as an Edo man, they said politics is local, and that is my greatest assurance that Asiwaju has the capacity to bring Edo to limelight and put it on a national trajectory on the path of the rule of law and constitutionalism. Today, we run an unconstitutional government in Edo State, and I'm sure I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. Edo State is being run in an unconstitutional manner. And that is my concern, that we have a state where you have a governor that is an emperor without a legislature. What we have today is not a legislature, it's a caricature of a legislative organ of government. It is unacceptable, it is unconstitutional, and it should not be tolerated. And this is not a matter for the APC alone, it's a matter for all of us in Edo State. A vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu come February 25th, and of course a vote for all our candidates, the 3 senatorial candidates, all the 9 House of Representative candidates, and indeed all our House of Assembly candidates will reverse this tragedy that the current government in Edo State has put upon us in Edo State. I urge you all to vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you very much.
In the course of my work, I have had to traverse Delta and Lagos. I lived in Delta for 10 years. I know what Delta used to be. I know that in the 90s, Delta State, especially Warri, was a better city than it was today, than it is today. And if you have a vice presidential candidate who is currently a governor of Delta and taking Delta backwards, that cannot be a party that we should be voting for. We are all Edo. We've seen what has happened in the past in Edo. We saw what Asiwaju did in Lagos. And we copied a lot of the things that he did in Lagos during COVID and Osunbor's regime. But we know what Edo today is after Gowon left. And there is a need again to change the narrative to make Edo better again, to make Edo begin to move forward. And since we did copy a couple of things from Lagos, it is good that the man that led the strategic development Lagos, from whom we learned some, to be at the head of affairs of the country. And Nigeria can only be better off.